As you can see, we have had yet another storm here in Vermont. Ooh, it's cold today. Very overcast. It's still snowing. It's the end of February. So goodbye February. Hello March. We're hopeful that with the next couple of months there'll be a transition to spring and to mud season in Vermont. But actually, what I wanted to talk about today in this little video is about the healing process when we suffer loss in our life. I know a lot of you know the stages of grieving, from denial and anger and bargaining to depression, then acceptance at some point. I know you're probably really familiar with that. And every person grieves differently from a loss, and it really depends on the loss that you have suffered. It could be somebody incredibly close to you, a child, a parent, a sibling, maybe your soulmate, maybe somebody you've been with for decades and decades. And what happens is, in my experience working with women around loss, is that those first three stages, they sometimes move through kind of quickly. And sometimes if the person that you've lost has been sick, those stages happen during the illness, you know. But it's those last two stages of depression and then acceptance that are really difficult to overcome. And that's where my work comes in with a lot of my clients, and the women I work with, they're typically all, over 50, 60, 70 and beyond. But I've also worked with younger women too that have lost family members and partners in life. And so when you're in that depression and anxiety too, it all feels so overwhelming. And it also depends on the kind of supports you have in your life, how you move through that depression and on to acceptance and beyond. If you have a great support network around you, it makes it a lot easier for the healing process to happen. But the reason I do this work, and I love doing it so much, is that I feel like women can come together to heal as a community. I started a private Facebook group for women overcoming loss in life, and many of you who are watching this might even be in that group. And I'm always so amazed at how supportive women are with each other. And it shouldn't surprise me. I think that's our nature as caregivers and nurturers, that we do support each other. But what we really fail at is then supporting ourselves with self-care. And that is a big part of the work I do with women, helping them understand that they do need to take care of themselves. And it looks really different when you've lost somebody important in your life. And also, let me say that it really does depend on the kind of loss. I'm going to walk over here and sit down for a minute. If you've gone through a divorce, it's loss in your life. It could be a really painful, agonizing divorce. It could be one that's shocking and you just can't even believe it's happening. It could be one that you have initiated, which might be a very good thing for you, but it doesn't mean that you haven't suffered some kind of loss. So going through those stages again are really important, and being able to reach that stage of acceptance. Now, this is the other thing, is that what I see in women, it's hard sometimes to hit that stage of acceptance, because then sometimes we feel guilty that we're actually accepting it and moving on. I don't know if any of you have experienced that, but it's very, very common. We we don't want to give up on the memories, which I don't think you should give up the memories. You know, it's important to hold on to those memories and put them in a special place in your life, but not let them hold you back, you know. So that's a little bit of how I work with women in the healing process. The other thing I just want to say is, you know, in my circle community, and I'll put the link below, you know, I post things for you to read, of course, and you can respond to those, and you can like them and all of that. You also have the chance to come into the Wise Women Warrior program that I've talked about, and that's a 10-week self-paced program. Women get tremendous results from it, and often takes longer than 10 weeks too, but it's really about finding purpose again in life, and kind of that 6th stage of grieving, finding purpose after the acceptance too. The other thing I offer is a subscription service. So that's an open group that I run for women to join and to talk with each other. And then every Monday I send out a little newsletter and a little yoga clip as another piece of self-care to think about. So I really encourage you, please join. The Circle community is absolutely free, totally free. And you can just read what I write, what I post. You can respond to it. You can interact with each other that way, just like many of you do in that private Facebook group too. But you also have the opportunity to subscribe, and it's I think really reasonable. It's $15 a month, and you can meet other women. And the beauty of that, it's all virtual. It's all virtual. So women are all over the world, actually, and it gives them that time to come together to share. I mean, some women just like to listen. Other women really like to participate. And I just think it's really important that healing is not a lonely process. It's not lonely, because I know many of you watching this are probably very lonely, and maybe some of your support systems have vanished, which also kind of happens after we suffer loss, whether it is a divorce or a death, or we have to move, whatever it is. We often, you know, people respond to us, and they want to help us, and they do all sorts of interventions to be near us for only a certain period of time, and then they kind of go away and vanish. It's really hard. So I totally understand all that. I love getting to know your stories. I really do. And any way that I can help you, I will. So yeah, check out the Circle community, and I hope you participate. I hold each one of you so dearly in my heart. And despite the freezing cold temperatures right now, I'm filled with warmth and love for each one of you.